here we are, January 4th, 2025. We're about to get started with some more mobility this morning. How are you doing this morning? I hope you're doing all right. I'm doing okay. Slept well. And we're getting ready for a small trip, a weekend getaway, so to speak, one night out of the house, which is always going to be nice. So, not sure where you'll see me streaming from tomorrow, but we'll find out tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll be uh, all good and good fun. For those of you watching, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep in a night. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. I try to eat 120 to 150 grams of protein in a day. Do strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training. And all of that taken together hopefully will keep me fit and healthy into my 40s, into my 50s, into my 60s and 70s, and who knows, maybe into my 80s and 90s. And sometimes when people ask me, well, why do I find this so important? Well, there are a couple of reasons, namely three. First of all, I want to live an active and adventurous life. I want to feel fit and competent for whatever life throws at me right now. And that's the simplest reason for it all. When I work out, when I feel fit and healthy, I feel like I am more capable of doing all the things that I want to do in life every day. Second one is I have two small kids, and it ties into the first one. So I want to be able to keep up with them. I want to be able to play with them on the floor. I want to be able to run and chase after them on the playground or have them chase after me. I want to be able to follow them through these huge indoor climbing gardens that they have, and help participate in any kind of sports that we might want to get them involved in. Set a good example for them in terms of what an active life actually is. We go on holidays into the mountains, we go for hikes. I want to be able to carry them and keep up, those kinds of things. Third is I've understood that we are all, at least in this part of the world, getting older and older, but not necessarily staying healthier and healthier as we age. In other words, we get to 80, 90, maybe even 100, medical advances, societal advances. But those last 5 or 10 years that we keep adding to our lifespan are riddled with disease and discomfort. My objective is to stay ahead of that curve and to minimize the time that I am living with disease and discomfort and maximize the time that I'm active and capable and able to go out there and do what I want to do in life. So those are the reasons that I train. The goal for me is very simple. The goal is showing up in the morning between 5 and 6 a.m. and doing the work for 30 minutes. Today it's going to be mobility. Usually it's strength and conditioning, mobility, strength and conditioning, mobility. But I'm waiting for an assessment of my shoulder by the physiotherapist because as we age, little ailments also start to show up. That's completely normal and part of life. One of the key principles I train by is to not get injured and to try to take it slow, because every day that I can't train, I actually am regressing and not progressing. So the objective is to just show up every day, do some work, and then get on with the other 23 and a half hours of my life. This is not about the way I look, this is about the way I feel. I want to feel fit and competent for life, for whatever life throws at me. So if that's something you're interested in, you go ahead, check out my channel, and maybe subscribe, and we can continue this conversation. That being said, just remember, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on, and it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. With that, the only way to get anything done is to show up and do the work. So I'm going to hit the timer, and we are going to get started this morning. And if you have any questions for me about my health and fitness journey, to 40 or at 40 or with kettlebells or with anything else, you go ahead and you let me know and you ask me in the chat. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep talking because getting fit in your 30s and 40s is difficult. But is also possible and probably a good way to spend some of your time, because not only are there going to be direct benefits for you in terms of how you feel and what you're capable of. I'm going to do some breathing. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, exhale. Here's the thing that we need to remember that we sometimes forget is it's a bit of an uphill battle, right? What I mean by that is that life, especially if you, like me, have a commute and a desk job and a job that requires you to type emails and sit in meetings, pass along information and knowledge, or add what you know to projects rather than actually tangibly produce something by hand, you end up sitting a lot. And there is no universe where moving for 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the morning, is in any way going to, that always feels very good for some reason. There's no way that moving for 30, 45 minutes once a day or 3 times a week is going to offset the damage that lifestyle does to our bodies, no matter how hard we try. We need to do more. And I am sorry to say that will involve moving more frequently, more often throughout the day. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something to be aware of. Is that general health and fitness is simple and not easy. So we're not talking about becoming a top-rated athlete or trying to look like an Instagram model or anything else that you might see online in magazines. What we're talking about is just working on ourselves to become fit and healthy and capable and competent for whatever life is going to throw at us. Now, there are different ways to go about that. There are different ways to go about that. We need to realize that that has a lot to do with how well we sleep, how well we eat, and how frequently we move throughout the day, throughout the week. And like I said, it always keeps coming back to this point that health and fitness is incredibly personal, and health and fitness very much depends on you, the demands that are on you in life, the commitments, the resources you have, the responsibilities you have every day, every week, every month, every year. So it's a bit too easy to say, well, if you're not healthy, it's your own fault. Because anyone who works in marketing knows a little bit about psychology, knows and understands that a lot of our behavior is subconscious and automatic and can be influenced and nudged to make big, lasting changes to go in an opposite direction. Because if we've adopted an unhealthy lifestyle, there are a lot of routines that make up that unhealthy lifestyle. That requires a couple of things that some of us forget we need to actually be putting into the effort, putting the effort into. It requires an understanding of how easy or hard it is for you to adopt small new routines, to be consistent, to shape the environment around you with cues and reminders of the new behavior you're trying to adopt, or to inhibit the behavior that you're trying to avoid. So a good example for my own life would be, how do I get to drink that extra glass of water every morning? Well, I do that by setting out a glass of water the night before, filling it up before I start training, and having it handy right here, so that right after I'm done with my training, I have to have that one glass of water, because I've set it up for myself to drink it. Right? That's an example of wanting to do something and then creating a trigger in my environment that initiates that kind of behavior. So, another part of that is understanding why staying hydrated is important, understanding that an extra 2 or 3 glasses of water in the day are going to do wonders for my ability to focus and function throughout the day. And a general understanding that hydration and nutrition are key parts of that healthier lifestyle that we were talking about a few moments ago. The opposite direction, an example, is the ongoing battle between me and the candy jar at the office, right? Which, coming out of the holiday season, where during the holiday season we let go of the restrictions just do whatever we want, whatever I wanted. Snacks, drinks, cans of soft drinks and pop, candy, food, lots and lots of food. And then going off that uninhibited streak, trying to get back into the habit of showing some restraint. Because I know there are certain moments where I'm a bit stressed, a bit tired, and I think that I want to snack something, but what I really just want is to escape from the stress or a bit of boredom at work. So we have some candy, we have some sugar. Because that's one of the ways that I cope with that. Instead of having the candy, reaching for a glass of water, or simply walking into the kitchen where we have the candy, squeezing a fist for 5 seconds, taking 2 or 3 deep breaths, and then walking out again. And the more often I'm able to do that, in the long run, the better off I'll be able to do. But those are small habits that we try to create and stack in our life, because the opposite small habit, right, whether you agree with that or not, is to not be drinking a glass of water, which is fine. Do what you want, or to be having that candy, which is also fine if that's what you want. In the bigger scheme of things, not drinking sufficient water every day and having an extra 100 to 200 calories in through candy are two easy ways to over time become relatively unhealthy for different reasons, slightly dehydrated throughout the day, and we're putting on more and more weight over time. I'm not saying we always need to lose weight. Generally, I think maintaining weight is a good strategy, but maintaining weight means that there needs to be a balance between how much we eat and how much we do. That's not always the case. So we need to keep that in mind as we think about life and making changes to our health and fitness. So here we are, it's the second year we're doing this every day. But it feels good, and it's hopefully something that I can commit to and keep doing, because it's something that I've wanted to do for years and years and years. So, health and fitness is about taking it slow, step by step, taking it easy, just showing up, doing a bit of work every day. But like I said, it's not just the 30 minutes, because life is designed in a way that works against us. We need to do more, and we need to be a bit strategic, the short term and the long term, in terms of what we're trying to get out of our health and fitness journey. And I think we need to acknowledge the fact that modern life is not necessarily a pathway to a healthy life. We have a lot of options to lead healthy lives. We have a lot of ways in which we can pursue health and health benefits. But the general structure of modern life, sadly, is more conducive to poor health. And that is something that we need to remedy for ourselves. And like I said, we just talked about little habits, right? Another big one that we tend to somewhat overlook is sleep. Sleep has gained a lot more prominence in people's mind in the last 12 years after the publication of Why We Sleep. But generally speaking, people forget that the foundation of good health is sleep, because it's the only time we actually recover and restore. It's the time when our brain resets, cleanses itself. Don't have to do anything special for it. Muscles grow, our body repairs itself, all while we're in this magical state of sleeping. Yet when it comes to one of the things that we tend to skip, or try to skip often, sleep is relatively high on that list, isn't it? And why is that? Well, so we think that stimulants actually might help do the job that sleep does for us. But that is, of course, not at all true. In fact, we should realize that the only thing stimulants do is create worse patterns of sleep, one, and two, do not have any of the restorative or regenerative capabilities or properties that sleep has for us. So in other words, it's the worst option. Nothing is going to improve your life as much as learning to get between 7 and 9 hours, maybe even 9 to 10 hours of good, restorative, regenerative sleep. Well, how do we know this? Well, look at all of the elite athletes that are still performing, highly performing beyond 30, right? Especially pushing 35 or 40s. What is one of their main regimens outside of a vigorous training program? You got it. It is sleep. I think we sometimes just forget how important sleep actually is. So I wanted to do something there, but just realized I'm not really that capable or mobile, so it's going to be something that I'm going to have to work on over time. I'm going to just walk the dog. And we're almost at the end of this mobility session. friends. So, if you can master anything, specifically mastering better sleep, it's just going to be a great way to quickly improve your health and fitness. Poor Man's Gym. Hey, how are you doing, buddy? It's good to see you this morning. Thanks for dropping by, saying hi. I hope you're doing well. Did you manage to redo that challenge? You don't strike me like the kind of person who gives up, so probably you've already done it. You're doing it. Anyway, I was gonna check out your channel after I was done with my workout this morning. I was curious what happened. You let me know. Oh, that'd be cool. And for anyone else watching, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do that by minding my sleep, minding what I eat, showing up to do strength training, conditioning training, and mobility sessions every day here on stream. So if that's something you're interested in, you can subscribe to my channel and drop by. It's about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I want to feel fit, competent, capable for life. So if that's something you're after, interested in, especially at 40, in your mid-30s, your mid-40s, or starting out in 30, headed for your 40s, in your 40s, headed for your 50s, you go ahead and check out my content, and we can continue this conversation. I'd appreciate that, and I'd like that. I'm going to read your message in a second. Since I asked you a question, I'm curious to what the answer is going to be. See, and then you saw my life before I lost it. Oh, lucky. Lucky. Good. I'm glad to hear that. No, the extra workout wouldn't hurt. I'm pretty sure if it's one of those brutal challenges, you'd rather do it once and get it over with than do it twice and take that punishment. So see, benefits of live streaming, right? But then was it a one-off challenge, or do you now have a different challenge next week? How does this work? I'm curious. And for anyone else who's watching, if you're into body weight and full workouts, you should check out a Poor Man's Gym channel, because he does cool live streams where he actually does very intense long workouts. I think a lot of it is body weight. And you'll see that he's super fit and knows what he's doing for himself. So definitely worth checking out. Anyway, that's the end of my session this morning. In terms of mobility, we're off to a good start. There's that extra glass of water that I was talking about before. Friends, day off on Sunday, very good. Burpees Giant Challenge, I'll have to check that out. Tomorrow, day off on Sunday, see, rest day, very good, very important. You're more than welcome. Always appreciate someone who shows up and does the work, right? It's the most important thing. That's all we can do. That's the end of today. And like I say, friends, this is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I try to show up every day and do the work. If you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. We can continue this conversation and have a little conversation about health and fitness, kettlebells, or whatever workout program you're doing. Remember that we're good just the way we are. we've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today who's going to help us get to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness goes a long way. There are enough people out there who want to put us down, right? And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. Poor man's Jim. Thanks for dropping by. Good luck with that challenge. You also have a great day or a great night's sleep. Everyone else who's watching, look forward to seeing you on another stream. Take care, friends. And don't forget to check out my channel and subscribe.